Hello everyone, welcome once again. In this video, we'll be talking about public expenditure, its causes and canons. So, without any delay, let's begin with today's lecture. First, let's understand what public expenditure is. Public expenditure is defined as the amount which is collected by the government from the public or the people, and this amount so collected is utilized for the developmental purpose or the developmental activities of the economy, so that it ultimately benefits the people in a larger number. So let's see what does it says. Public expenditure translate policy objectives into actions through public service delivery. Government developed partners and general public increasingly request expenditure, accountability and transparency. It tracks, monitor and evaluate the flows and impacts of public resource allocation, reliable assessment and comparisons of public expenditure. To make it more clear, it just says the amount that is so collected from the people are utilized in such a manner that it has the proper records, proper assessment, proper evaluation, then only that amount is used for the well-being of the society and the people. Now let's see what are the causes responsible for the increase in public expenditure. There are a number of factors or causes responsible. So let's have a look at each one of them. Starting with the first one, emergence of welfare states. First, we need to understand what are welfare states. Welfare states are those states which were developed at the time of crisis or the war. When a war is broke out in some of the countries, then these states are formed. The objective of these states is to provide health, social security, or any sort of help to the ailing nation. So when these states are formed, it obviously requires huge amount of expenditure. So this is one of the factors responsible for the huge expenditure. Then it says rising defense expenditure, that is to make the strong warfare of the nation. Rise in price level, when the price level is rising, there has to be a decline in the other activities, and as a result of which the supplement things are promoted. Suppose a rise in one of the things have taken place, the other things are reduced and the production of other commodities are increased. So as a result of this, the expenditure is increasing. Industrialization, when more and more industries are coming or joining a particular area, so it requires huge amount of investment for that particular industry. Then it says basic infrastructure, to maintain that sanctity or identity of the industry, it requires huge infrastructure, from laying down a foundation to setting up an industry. So this also includes huge investment. And lastly, it says population growth. When the population grows, the consumption is also increasing, and as a result of increased consumption, the production has to be increased. So all these factors in one way or the other results in increasing the public expenditure of the government. So the expenditure, the amount that the government have collected from the people, are utilized to maintain for all these factors. Now let's see what are the classification of public expenditure. Public expenditure are broadly classified into two categories: revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. If we talk about revenue expenditure, these are the expenditures which are incurred or which are just used to maintain the day-to-day requirement. Or capital expenditure are the huge investment or the assets which are going to give you future benefits or future returns. Now let's see a comparison between the two. Capital expenditure says cash is spent on investment in business, and revenue expenditure says cash is spent on day-to-day operation. The examples: plant and machinery, factory building, IT systems, distribution equipment, fixtures and fitting. Here in the revenue, raw material, energy cost, wages and salaries, marketing cost, office administration. So this is how both these capital and revenue expenditure are differentiated. The other thing that you need to remember is that purchase of assets, and here it is example is payment of expenses. The another important thing, that when the expense lasts for more than a year, then it is a capital expenditure, and when the expenditure lasts for less than a year, something less than 12 months, then it is a revenue expenditure. This is how both these expenditures are differentiated. The other thing, the other type of revenue expenditure that you need to know is deferred revenue expenditure. Basically, this expenditure does not provide authority or ownership to any of the person, but it provides future benefits. Suppose if you are investing today, it is going to give you benefits in the coming years. Example for this is advertisement. Suppose if you are making investment in advertisement for promoting a commodity, the results you are not going to get immediately. It will take a year or so to give you the best results when people are well aware about that product, so they'll purchase more. So this is how this deferred revenue expenditure works. You are making an investment today, but it is going to give you benefit over the years. Let's see what does it say. Expenditures incurred during one accounting year but are applicable wholly or in part in future periods. These expenditures are otherwise of a revenue nature because it's a revenue expenditure. Benefit is not confined to one accounting year. That's what I'm telling you. It extends to future accounting year or years also. This expenditure does not result in the acquisition of any fixed asset. So this is about deferred revenue expenditure. Now have a look at the canons of public expenditure. Let's find out what are the main canons of public expenditure. The major 5 canons of public expenditure are canon of benefit, canon of economy, canon of sanction, canon of surplus, and lastly, canon of productivity. Over the books or everywhere, you will find n number of canons, but these are the main or the most important canons that you need to remember. So let's study each one of them individually, starting with the first one. The canon of benefit, it says that the benefit that the government should plan or aim the activities in such a manner that it provide benefit to the larger masses or the larger number of population, then only this benefit is justified. So let's have a look. The principle of maximum social benefit as canon of public expenditure implies that the government should plan its expenditure in a manner as to promote the greatest good of the greatest number. It says the benefit to the larger number of people or the larger masses. Coming to the next one, it says the canon of economy as canon of public expenditure suggests that the state should be economical in spending. It implies 2 things. The government should not spend more than the amount required to be spent on particular item of expenditure, and the state should spend in such a way that might develop the productive capacity of the community as much as possible. To make it clear, this canon says that the government should may spend the amount in such a manner that it is only the amount that is required. It should not be more than the required amount. Then only the balance can be maintained, because we are aiming at providing the benefit to the people, services to the masses. So this is possible only when the right amount is used in the right direction. Next comes the canon of sanction. Canon of sanction says that if the government is going to spend the amount on some of the things, it requires prior permission, approval, and sanction of the required or the assigned authorities. What it implies is that the government, before incurring any expenditure on any item, should obtain the proper sanction and approval of the competent authority. Without its approval, the government department cannot incur any expenditure beyond the specified limit. This makes it clear that before spending the amount, the government should take the permission of the required authority. Next comes the canon of surplus or balanced budget. It says the amount should be spent accordingly. It should not be like that should be spent more than the required amount or should be less than the amount which is required. There should be a balance so that it can give the best results. It says according to this canon of public expenditure, the state must avoid resort to deficit financing as far as possible. The classical economists always preferred surplus budget just like an ordinary citizen, but in modern time, balanced budget, no deficit, no surplus budget is preferred. It says that there should be a balanced budget, which means that they should not have the deficit or the surplus. Deficit budget when the amount is spent less than the sanctioned, or surplus is when the amount is spent more than the required amount. So this is how both these things are worked differently, but there should be a balanced budget. Now coming to the last one, it says canon of productivity. This canon implies that expenditure policy of the government should encourage production and productive efficiency of the economy. Public expenditure should be always directed towards enhancing the productive capacity of the economy. If you are talking about the welfare or the well-being of the economy, then the government should aim at promoting or doing the things in such a manner that it enhances the productivity or the productive capacity of the country. Because if the productive capacity is increasing, there are full chances that economy is going to head higher towards the better position in coming years. So this is how the expenditure that is collected by the government is utilized in maintaining the developmental, social, political activities of the country, so that it provides large number of benefit to the people and to the nation. This is all from the public expenditure. I hope this topic is clear to each one of you. If you have any doubt or query, please do feel free to let me know. Very soon I'll be coming back with another lecture. I hope you will be understanding and getting the things clear. So that's all for the day from my side. See you all very soon. Till then, take care, keep smiling, keep studying, and keep learning. God bless you all.